Welcome below. Hey guys, so we are going to continue our tour today below decks on Makara, our 1986 Celestial 48.
We want to give you a look around of all the work that we have done. We've worked really hard and we're really happy with what we've done. Although it's sometimes been hard to see the end, we think we've come a long way and got most of the projects done that we wanted to get done. Underneath
the stairs here we have our batteries. In here we have 6 new batteries. They are less than a year old. There's 6 volt batteries, and that gives us about 630 amps for our house bank.
Got lots of storage here. Nice cupboards with really good storage. In addition, over here there's storage behind with a refrigerator down here, or refrigerator freezer. It's an isotherm unit that's in there. It's a very deep refrigerator freezer. It's been changed over time, so the old original one has been changed out for a more modern compressor, and that compressor is back in the engine room with the icebox inside here. A nice more storage in here, a really large storage space, beautiful little cabinet door there. And then next to that we have 2 foot pumps down below here for the sink. One is a salt water and one is a fresh water, as well as a pressurized cold fresh water right here as well. And storage below here. A really nice, albeit a little dusty, Force 10 3-burner stove with oven and broiler, and also the pot holders on here as well. It is gimbaled, so when you undo the gimbal here, it's free to move about while underway, which is something again that we look for. A few frivolous things and a couple of important ones. So one being, you can see the electrical wiring back here. We'll show you shortly. This wiring is for our heater unit we've installed. So a lot of that still needs to be tidied up. It just needs to be basically clipped in place so it doesn't fly around everywhere. And next to that is the exhaust hose for our heater, which part of that has been wrapped in exhaust tape down below. We'll show you in a bit. And then it's backed here by a heat resisting plate, I guess you could call it. And then the really good thing that we do like about this boat is access to chain plates. So being able to see the chain plates and get to them is something very important for us, because structurally wise, this is what's making or literally breaking your boat. And being able to see these and monitor them and get them easily inspected is important, because a lot of boats, they are either encased in fiberglass or buried behind some wood wall type apparatus to hide it.
Right down here by the galley, this is our control for the forced air diesel heater that we installed. The on-off control unit, as well as the air intake, is right down there. The forced air heater itself is located underneath this settee. At the moment, we just have one outlet, which is right here. You could, of course, run more ducting if you wanted more ducting throughout the boat. Also underneath the settee, there's a bunch of storage. We have 3 large storage hatches. There's a ton of space for whatever you need to store in there. This box right here, this is our autopilot control unit, head unit. It's not installed yet, obviously. It's brand new in the box. We do have a ram arm to control the autopilot that will pair nicely with it. On the starboard side here, we have a nice long settee, plenty long for sleeping underway, and we even have a little fold-up pilot berth. So 2 berths on the starboard side here, both nice for sleeping. Brand new cushions and upholstery that we put in as well, and it's really heavy-duty, high-quality industrial upholstery material. Now, if you've been following along, you know we have done a lot of work in the interior here. We have all brand new headliner here in the salon and the forward cabin. The headliner is all a vinyl beadboard and can easily come down if you need to access. Behind it there is also insulation. Wall panels have also been replaced with insulation behind them, and all of the port lights here in the salon and the forward cabin have also been rebedded. We have a brand new mast trim and table in the salon here that was custom made by my dad with sapele. Really pretty wood. Has fiddles around the permanent part so you can set things here underway and not have them fall off. There's a nice cabinet in both ends of the table, and these leaves come up. There's some supports here. And the table folds out to be a nice big table that people on both sides, you could have a ton of people seated in here. Over here on the port side, we have a nice L-shaped settee. Again, it is nice and plenty long enough to be a comfortable berth underway. Again, all new upholstery and all new cushions. We're super happy with how the look turned out. Beside me over here, you can see once again chain plates exposed, so they're nice and easy to inspect. These are not the original chain plates. They have been replaced and updated from the original metal at some point. And we do know that the bow and stern chain plates were replaced in about 2015, I believe. Moving forward here, we have a nice big storage area with some USB charging outlets. And then up here, we have a brand new door, custom made. And this is the forward cabin. Let's come check it out. We have the entrance to the forward cabin, and we also have an entrance to the forward head here. It's a double entrance. You can enter from the forward cabin if you have some private guests staying up here, or just from the salon. In the forward head is a manual Jabsco toilet, hot and cold pressure water at the sink, and shower head, and a separate shower sump. Up here in the forward cabin, we have basically completely rebuilt it. It was totally stripped and gutted. We put in 2 awesome burrs. They're nice and long and a good width. We also have new headliner, new wall panels. The port light has been rebedded, and we have some really nice cedar wall paneling. The other cool thing that we designed that we're really happy with up here is the way the cushions are designed. We have the cushions split into 2 different sections so that you can lift them up and access this central hatch. And underneath here is where our sail storage is. Down here in the floor hatches, all of the tankage is located in the bilge, both the fuel tankage and the water tankage. This is a fuel tank right here. And all them have hatches and little inspection ports. On either side of the mast, there's another hatch that you can get down and access the mast step and the bilge in there. For our tankage on board here, there are a total of 2 water tanks. This one is a big one, about 200 gallons of fresh water. And then forward, there's another 50-gallon tank of fresh water. As you can probably see throughout, the teak and holly interior cabin sole definitely has a bit of wear on it. There's a little section here that's been cut out. We do have a small section of vinyl, plastique, vinyl teak and holly that we are planning to put down, but that's one of the projects that we have not gotten to yet.
We're here in the engine room, and it is a very large engine room. We're basically directly under the cockpit floor here. And we've got a lot of storage back here behind me. We've got a lot of spare parts and everything like that stored in here. Oils, spare electrical, everything you could need. Behind here there is I think a 30-gallon day tank. So the fuel tanks we have on board are 4. We have 3 main tanks out there underneath the cabin sole. And then we have the day tank back here, which is where the engine draws its fuel from. And just over here you'll see a fuel manifold, or a fuel transfer manifold. That will transfer the fuel from the main tanks out there in the cabin sole to the day tank in here. And it's an easy way to monitor your usage of the fuel. Above that you'll see a holding tank. This is not fully fixed in place yet. The holding tank here will rotate 90 degrees. That's our final plan for it. And we're going to plumb that into the head and the aft cabin there. So it'll be able to go direct overboard if you want, or you can have it go into the holding tank here. That was our plan, and there's sanitation hose and everything here for that. That's a later project. We also have, let's see here in the engine room, we've got dual Raycor filters over here. This is one that actually goes from the day tank. As you use the fuel transfer, it goes into the day tank. And then there's another one when it comes from the day tank into the actual engine. The engine here is an 88 horsepower Yanmar turbo. It's the 4J HDTE, I believe, I got that right. Recent oil change and belts, the valves, all that stuff. The engine runs spectacularly well. We also have up here a water pump. This is for our pressurized water system, as well as an accumulator tank here as well. What else can I go over here? Our deep bilge is back here. Directly underneath the engine there's a sump, and that is the sump for the aft head and shower area. The actual boat's bilge pump or sump, the boat's bilge area is right over here, and that's the deepest part of the boat right there, and we've got a bilge pump for that one. Across from the engine access here is the hallway which goes into the aft cabin. There's a lot of storage in here. We've got cleaning products and tools in here right now, drawers all the way down, some what would have originally been like some laundry baskets, which we still use for one of the laundry baskets.
And back here, this is the aft cabin. Let's come check it out. First and foremost, the center of attention is this nice big king-size bed. It is probably what sold us on the boat, honestly. It is a full king size. It has a nice memory foam mattress on here. Super comfy living quarters. Obviously this big box, this is the hatch that goes up top to be replaced. And then around me on both sides there is tons of cabinetry and storage. And then also underneath the bed there are hatches. The entire area underneath the bed is accessible for storage. Also back here in the aft cabin is an aft head. Back here we have another manual Jabsco toilet. There is a sink with pressurized hot and cold water. And then we have a separate shower stall. The hot water comes from this little propane instant hot heater that is right here. That has its own solenoid and runs off our 2 propane tanks. Now on our projects, we've kind of been working our way forward to back. So we haven't gotten to all the projects back here in the aft cabin. And one of them is rebedding the support light. We know we definitely have leaking coming through the support light, so it does need to be rebedded. And this head, this is the one that we have plans to hook up to the holding tank in the engine room. That holding tank would be basically right back there. That's where the engine room is. Behind this cabinet is the engine room, and I think it'd be a fairly easy run to plummet. If you remember from some of our earlier videos, when we purchased Makara, this section of headliner had all been completely pulled down. So we did put insulation and new headliner up here in the section where it was missing. This is our chart table. It's a nice forward-looking chart table, really good size, nice and big, storage underneath here. At the moment there are no electronics on here, but there's obviously plenty of space to install whatever kind of electronics you would want.
Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please remember to give us a thumbs up and share this link with your friends. Also, make sure you're subscribed and click the bell to get notified of new episodes.
And until next time,
Cheers!
Artie cheers!